So I just start in every videos with me saying thank you, God. I gotta be thankful, even though my life is being destroyed. I am thankful for the little I can be thankful for. I am thankful mostly that I didn't get involved in the participation of this program, because it's clear that so many can be participants. It doesn't take the best of the best. It doesn't take the genius. This is not the cream that needs that's employed by this program. It sounds like you have to be okay with being somewhat self-degrading, but not even self-degrading, but self-degrading and being a clown that should be taken serious, but it's not. So anybody can do that. And I know I say these things not just to be just insultive, but these clowns have no shame. I'd rather go through all these horrible things they're talking about. They talk about I'm going to give them sexual things, and I'm like, I'd rather whatever life you live, I will not trade places with your life. These clowns live such a disturbing, degrading life, and then the entitlements when you view them as the clowns that they are. It's like you chose to be a retard for life. You chose to be a clown for living. Take accountability for that. What you expect? To be respecting your retardation? And I'm talking about to this perp, because for me, a lot of these perps interact with me via V2K. And they wanted me to see and view them in a way I should first of all be subscriptive and not be able to clearly see what they try to do. They truly gaslight you in ways that are so stupid at this point. And for me, because I've been utilizing this documentary that came out in a few weeks ago, I think 15 days ago or so, which kind of bring up the reality of what this program is. It's really psychological warfare, in the sense of like they're utilizing you as a guinea pigs to develop technology, or the technology is already developed, but utilizing to perfect this technology. You're utilized as just a database to see what works in regard to the torment. And it's been the same thing. These clowns utilize this technology to do all this manipulation of your mind, inclusive of your memories, and reshape your memories, implanting information in your memories, where they try to make you internalize this persona. And for me, it's been the same. Go look at memory manipulation. One of the common things they've been doing is make me think of somebody I've been with, and try to then make me think of them now being adults. That has been their same old manipulation. Same. It's the same predictive thing. And then utilizing these retards around me, excuse my language, but this nobody who are so retarded, it's agitating. But it's been the same repetitive ways of gaslighting you. For me, at least. Now, but the best part is, at the same time, it goes as far, these clowns tell me that they're going to have these teenage losers the government contract act like their children, the children of this teenage loser, because apparently some of them are teen mom, are children with children involved in this program, and stupidity, and gonna make it look like their children, the child of these teenage trashy losers. They're gonna make it sound like they're my children, or that they're my child, or something like that. But the same clowns who are willing to create this level of just of falsification to make, saying that they're gonna have some teenage loser who has a child make it look like this teenage loser's child is my child, want me to accept this retarded memory manipulation. Then utilizing this condescending V2K losers that the government contract. Utilizing this condescending V2K interaction to try to make me acceptive of the stories. This is another thing. Another story. It's going to sound familiar. There's going to be another similar thing in regard of creating false memory. And it's going to be bad. Now, this is getting really bad. They were making me think of somebody I've been with. I was maybe in my late 20s, around 28, around that age. And while I was with her, we, there was some sexual interaction. We've been together multiple times, and let's just say she was in the field of work that is known. And this woman was about my age, mid to late 20s. Clearly, looks like it. Maybe even look a little bit older than me. No doubt. Matter of fact, she has a son too. She had a son at the time. I don't know if at the time she had one son. We've been together. We interacted first, and then had multiple interaction, and I got her number, and then started following her on social media. She had a Snapchat, like most people at the time. And I could see her story. She had a bit of a mess of a life. I remember issues that she was having where her house was being vandalized. I saw her with her boyfriend and things like that. And clearly somebody about my age. The story they start playing with my mind, trying to make me imagine her not being an adult. First of the first beginning of this construction of retardation in my memories is when she was waiting for a bus, a public bus, with other adults. Tried to make me think, oh, you see, she was waiting for a school bus. That's the initial beginning of altering my memories. They wanted me to think that she was waiting for a school bus instead of just a regular bus. That's how stupid it is. Now what they're doing is, because I'm no longer in my 20s, I'm in the late 30s. And so now, even when I'm looking at somebody who's 30 years old, 28, 29, they can make me imagine them being underage just because I'm being as old as I'm get when I'm looking at this early 30s or late 20s. They look much younger. So making me think of her at the time, me about the same age as her, and making me think, oh, you see how she looks young. And the truth is, she actually looked a little bit older than me at the time. The stupidity in my brain is like she was wearing flip-flops. That's the stupidity I'm forced to experience. There is no doubt that she's an adult. Not only an adult. The question would be like, who's older between me and her? That's what somebody might argue. I look younger than her at the time. If you saw me next to her, you will ask, who is older than her? Who is older, me or her? Now, I know this is how they play with your brain. They've done it many times. They can manipulate your memories, and they can print memories. And when they do that, they can implant information in your memories that is implanted in the memory. Then they have these losers around you. They're supposed to be theatrical. And what they do is create some kind of fear like noise campaign that's supposed to pressure you into internalizing this false memory. And that's what they've been doing all along with the same creative story in my memories. Matter of fact, one of this super clown retard that is a V2K, they wanted to be like, but hey, she was also on Snapchat. Like, and I'm looking at my Snapchat today, I still see people that have, when I used to live where I live, on Snapchat, friend that I met around the same area, because this, let's just say, is 2016 or so, 15, 16. Everybody was on Snapchat. And so like, no, but then they referred, but I remember in 2014, you followed this person that I've never met. You see, she was an adult. That means this person that you met, that you have her number, and the only reason why I have her is on Snapchat is because she was one of the contacts. You know how you can like Snapchat can get your contact, anybody who's in your contact who's, it's like, you see, she was on Snapchat. It was like, what the and she really tried to gaslight you. She's like, yeah, there is something. There is. Proof. When you see my friends, you see other women I met in the nightclub. It's funny, her name is Wednesday. I have somebody called Thursday. Still there. On Snapchat because I got her number in the same area around the same time, and I follow her story on Snapchat. A woman, a bit, my age or so. Now I understand these clowns want me to be losing my mind, and it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, Snapchat, proof. And by the way, this is somebody I met first, I talked to first, I interacted with, and then because I have her number, and at the time everybody was on Instagram or Snapchat. That's part of my Snapchat capture the people in your contact who have a Snapchat. So it's not somebody I met on Snapchat. It's somebody I met in real life, got her number, she happens to have a Snapchat like most people at the time, and I could see her life, her living in this house with her son, going through her life. And this trash here, the most disgusting, is like, yeah, but she had this teen trash here with children. They have a son. Proof. So this is the kind of stupidity they push you into internalizing. Try to get you to accept this manipulation of memories. It is insane. It is pure stupidity. And they contract clowns that commit to the stupidity. Their job is to drive you into internalizing the thing, and they are fully committed to the retardation that they're supposed to implant in your brain. It's amazing. And they really expect you to internalize the stupidity. You see, the reason why I say third over there, there's somebody on Snapchat that I actually met in person, got her number, then she has a Snap. At the time everybody had it. It was more popular at the time, and her name is Thursday. This is the stupid. I deal with pure retards here to try to gaslight me, and that's their job. And they're like, we won. who really made you believe this? I was like, you just make me become a retard and you're gonna commit to that. But the mistake is, you're gonna be so committed to that retardation that when you do that in front of me, you're gonna think that I go, oh my gosh, it works so well, we won. It's like, okay, come play your retard. Try to make a grown woman be a child in my mind. You know, I look at somebody that's 30 years old, they can still do the same, they can do the same thing. This woman who looked older than me, by the way. Nah, she looked older than me, but I think I'm a few years older than her. Like I may be 2-3 years older than her, but she looked older than me. Clowns. But remember that in this program, they do a lot of psychological torment, but also memory alteration is common. Like this man said in this documentary, it's clear that they can implant memory, erase memories, and they, when I say not only implant memory, imprint memory. Meaning they can design memories and imprint in your mind. And then they have the clowns around you who participate in gaslighting you, and then you have your thoughts who can be forced to rationalize like a mentally retarded person, while these clowns aid the stupidity that's being implanted in your brain. Time me to stay strong and see things for what they are. What you're seeing here is you're going to hear this man describing who can benefit from this, but specifically bring up how memory can be implanted and erased and other things. And then you're going to hear another man that where thoughts can be implanted. And so for me, I'm getting a combination where they implant they imprint these memories, and then they have these thoughts to try to validate these imprinted memories. But the thoughts are so stupid. It's amazing that even wearing flip-flop was a validation for them. And the woman was called Wednesday, by the way. The reason why I say her name like that is because they wanted to be like, oh, but she was also on Snapchat. Another proof. You know, the Thursday person, the THUR. That's not her real name, but I met her on a Thursday, so I saved the number as Thursday. So when the contact saved as Thursday, now it's on Snapchat and it's around the same time. And I'm putting that on purpose, like you bunch of retards. So she's not an adult because she's there. Bunch of clowns using any kind of stupidity to gaslight me. So I can just stay strong, see this trash for what they are.
Companies
stand to gain.
The pharmaceutical companies can benefit from this. You know, a lot of these weapons, they're hitting people, and you know, for instance, myself, I get migraines. So hey, you know, what pharmaceutical industry, let's give them a migraine medication or any symptom that we might experience from these weapons.
I'm not saying that medicine is bad. All I'm saying is we're specifically talking about the capabilities of this technology when you can be influenced by RF emissions. Our declassified documents specifically talk about how they can inflict pain, they can manipulate the human biochemistry with it, they can transmit sound, imprint memory sets, and erase memory sets. Imagine if you can do that and you had that kind of power. What could you do to a mass population? During the bomb,
inserting thoughts. Sometimes you hear voices, some people hear voices, putting emotions into your head and using all this information to drive you crazy, to torture you.
They're saying these things like, oh,